We're rolling.
Welcome to another episode of Make Strange, everybody.
Hello.
We got the death whistle here. You're here with Derrick and J-Man.
What's happening?
Johnny.
What's up?
Johnny looking boyish today.
Boyish? I was trying to look manly.
Johnny looking manly today.
Oh, there
you
we
can
go.
Look however you want. You just tell me how you want to look, and you're
Okay.
there, buddy.
I want to be like intimidating. Like, if you
Johnny looking like the Terminator today.
Yeah.
Coming to annihilate everyone. Welcome to today's show, everybody. First and foremost, I want to catch everybody up on what we've been up to lately. In case you missed it, we just released our very first mini documentary.
Yes.
A 30-minute documentary on the Extreme Justice League, a group of real-life superheroes right here in San Diego. Usually our episodes come out on Saturday, but this episode came out in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
This week it came out on Tuesday. It was going to come out on Saturday, but we just needed a couple extra days to polish it off. The response has been amazing. I'm so happy. People are stoked on this documentary. I think people have been wanting us to go on location for a long time, and this was on location and beyond. Deep undercover,
dude,
doing on the spot investigative journalism.
I just want to say to all our Spotify listeners who ignore the YouTube channel, you messed up. So go back and find the episode you missed.
No, you haven't messed up. You're missing out.
So
there you go. Go on over to our YouTube channel. Check it out in case you missed it. And a lot of people may have just missed it because they're used to our Saturday uploads.
That's true.
So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. You're getting 2 episodes of Make It Strange this week. One of them is already out. And of course, you're getting this one on a hot Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, whenever you tune in. In addition to that, we have a full-length 40-minute conversation with the XJL that has not been uploaded yet, but will be coming in the next couple days. So stay tuned and be checking that YouTube channel for more Make It Strange content than you can handle.
Hell yeah.
Well, I hope you can handle it because we're dishing it out at a fast rate. We're kicking it into gear here. We're firing up on all cylinders. And we are kicking ass.
We're firing up like the Ultimate Warrior. Don't gift that.
Hogan! We thank you for joining us today. We're going to be getting into some very, very important UFO lore. I have a story today that is considered one of the most prominent and important and influential UFO sightings of the 1990s. You have no idea what I'm talking about because I didn't even tell you that I was bringing this research to the show today. This is the Zimbabwe UFO incident of 1994.
Holy shit.
In addition to that, we're going to be getting to some weird world news. And Johnny has a new segment that he has named. What did you call this segment?
Weird internet.
Weird internet.
That might change. I don't know.
Weird world news and weird internet. And we're going to get a video from our correspondent in Japan, Veronika.
Yes, dude.
Who has once again traveled to a haunted location in Japan. This time, she is exploring a haunted mall in Tokyo.
Okay.
Which apparently used to be a skyscraper and like an office building. It's been converted, and because of the renovations, the building is like a maze. And you'll see in the video, I think she gets lost in there for a little while. It's a great video. Everybody out there is going to enjoy it, so stay tuned for that. This is going to be a jam-packed episode of Make It Strange, and we might have a couple more surprises along the way. Before we get into our first story, how's it going?
Pretty good. I think we both have mustaches now. I just realized.
Mine's more of like a beard.
Oh.
I don't know if you check it out. Yeah, it's all over my face.
That's true.
This is your news for the day. We both have mustaches.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I figured the people needed to know. They're at home. They're thinking it. And I just wanted to, put that out there into the world that we're both mustachioed gentlemen today.
Well, I don't like to be labeled. I don't like to fit into a box.
Yeah.
I may have a mustache today. I may have a Fu Manchu tomorrow. I may shave this into handlebars or
dude,
some good old fashioned Civil War sideburns. I change
some
it
mutton
up.
chops. Yeah.
I'm like a snake shedding his skin. You never know what you're gonna get. Anyways, in addition to Johnny getting a mustache, I think we're going to be visiting some on-location spots coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, let's talk about, we're going to get into the Zimbabwe UFO story in just a few minutes, but let's reflect on this XJL documentary. You weren't there with me
not at all.
Night of. Did you have a chance to watch the documentary?
Yeah. I mean, you showed me a kind of half-finished edit, and then I did a bit of an audio pass, and I sat down and watched like a lot of it.
A lot of it. Okay, yeah. So that answers my question.
But no, I loved it. I thought it was great, and I want to continue with this, and I want to do more stuff like that in the future.
You want to make your own documentary?
If that's cool, I do. And I also want to make some together.
I don't know if it's cool.
Yeah.
Because you haven't made it yet.
I need to stop doing that.
But I know mine was cool. And yours will probably be cool too.
Yeah. I definitely want to make one on like outsider artists like Daniel Johnston and like Captain Beefheart.
Captain Beefheart.
Yeah. Shouts out. I think he's dead. And like Wesley Willis and stuff.
Rip Rig, Captain Beefheart.
He's a captain.
Yeah, for Mega Strange, in my opinion, I like to investigate paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, but also just weird humans. And by weird, I mean people who are outside of the ordinary. Non-normies. Yeah, I said it. So that's why I was fascinated with real life superheroes. And now I'm trying to find other people who fit into that box of, just outside the ordinary. So I think there's a couple people here in San Diego that I'm thinking of doing some more mini documentaries on. I'm kind of inspired by Louis Theroux.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
and his series in the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm like the new Louis. Is Louis Theroux still making content? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if he's retired, we're here to pick up the mantle. Glad you enjoyed it, and I hope everybody at home has had a chance to watch it. And if not, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, and be sure to follow us on social media, Megastrange666 on Twitter and Megastrange Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, well, without further ado, let's get into the main topic of today's episode, the Zimbabwe UFO incident. So, this story is about a school in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And on September 16th, 1994, I just found out about this today, actually.
Oh.
And it like fascinated me. I was like, this is going to be perfect for the show.
This is always something that baffles me about you. It's like, I'll see you at one part of the day, and then the second half, you'll be like, I've learned this whole thing, like in between, like an hour ago.
Yeah,
like,
you saw me 4 hours ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, I have nothing
yeah.
prepared for
And then now
today's
you're like, I learned
episode.
about Zimbabwe UFO, and I'm like, like when I go home, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch a fucking video essay on Mario 64. Like, I don't ever gain new knowledge.
Well, I'm always just like reading Wikipedia anyways. And
Yeah.
like, I have just a very curious mind, and all throughout the day, little things will just like ping my curiosity, and I'll just
Yeah.
be like, wait, what is that about? And next thing I know, I'm going down this weird ass rabbit hole on like Wikipedia, and then like, going on the dark web and looking for all the like source material. I don't actually go on the dark web, but I try to get off Wikipedia as much as possible.
Yeah. I usually put like a video on that like I don't have to think about, and I just like, boom, check out.
I can't not think. So the more like heady the subject, it actually has kind of the opposite effect as you. The more complicated it is, the more like it's almost like a Rubik's Cube,
Yeah.
It's soothing in that way to kind of like take a really complicated issue and just sift through the details. And in my mind, kind of like organizing it and understanding it is a very like calming process for me.
That it's cracking me up because like today I looked at the Wikipedia article for the band Candlemass, and then when it started like putting different eras of different singers, I was like, I just clicked off. Like I didn't care. I was like, that's too much.
Yeah, if a Wikipedia article fascinates me, I'll like read it top to bottom and then be like, okay, I think I got that, and then I'll start over again and read it top to bottom again and be like, oh yeah, okay, this is the part I didn't understand last time, and kind of keep going until I internalize it as much as I can, because then I usually forget it.
You're like studying
2 weeks later. Yeah, studying for nothing. Studying for this show. All right, so back to the subject at hand. On September 16th, 1994, there was a UFO sighting.
Okay.
Outside a place called Rua, Zimbabwe. Now, what happened was there was a school there called the Ariel School, where 69 children, great number, between the ages of 6 and 12,
okay,
almost 70 kids, right, in 1994, claim that they saw one or more silver crafts, UFOs,
okay,
land in the field next to their school. And reports differ, but between 1 and 4 creatures, all dressed in black, emerged from these unidentified flying objects, from these crafts.
Okay, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. The children reported being terrified.
Okay.
And they went on to say that these UFOs communicated with them telepathically and issued a warning about the planet Earth to these kids. And it was an environmental message telling these children essentially that the world in their lifetime will end if they don't stop polluting and destroying the planet.
It was like, wee, stop using plastic straws.
Essentially, yes. Basically, yes. They projected this image of the turtle video.
Yeah. And they're like, oh God, don't show me that.
Yeah, the kids were like, no. The environmental message was communicated to these children telepathically, and a lot of the kids reported being frightened, and it caused the children to start crying. Almost 70 kids, right? Now, skeptics say that this was a case of mass hysteria.
Skeptics always are saying bullshit.
They say that's the explanation, that these 70 kids experienced mass hysteria. But to this day, a lot of these children who are now adults maintain that this absolutely happened. It was not mass hysteria.
Yeah.
They were visited at their school by aliens.
I can see this being like a really amazing like ploy to get the world to turn around. Like, all right, we're going to pretend to be aliens.
1994. So if it was a ploy, it certainly didn't work.
No.
Because the world's more fucked up now than it was in 1994.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we did it. Let me give you some background on this story and some more details, right? So Rua, the town where this happened, was at the time not even actually a town. It was like an agricultural center in Zimbabwe. So it was more of like, the quote says, it was little more than crossroads in an agricultural region. It was more of just like an area that they had a name for.
And we've talked about crossroads on the show before, so maybe some demonic crossover.
Yeah, maybe the devil was there trying to sell guitar skills to the aliens. Hello, aliens. I'll teach you how to play the fiddle.
He's like, I'll save the planet.
Like a bastard. Even though there was not much happening in the area, the school, which was known as Ariel School, was an expensive and private school. And most of the children who attended were from wealthy white families that lived in the region.
Aliens are classist.
They kind of are.
They're like
Aliens visit.
Don't worry, the rich people got it.
Aliens visit the poor neighborhoods too, but the news doesn't care about those encounters. They're like, I ain't going down there. You go film that story. Not me. What's interesting is 2 days prior to this incident, there had been a number of reports all over Africa of UFO sightings, all throughout southern Africa.
Okay.
Numerous reports of bright fireballs passing through the sky at night and aircrafts that at first people thought might be airplanes, but upon closer inspection, they were like, those are not airplanes. What's going on?
Okay.
There was a radio station down there called the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Channel, known as ZBC. You've heard of BBC.
Yeah, it's ZBC.
This is ZBC. And when the UFO sightings were happening before this event, they asked for people to call in, tell us your stories, and they got a wave of reports of these UFOs. So the Zimbabwe school sighting itself happened at 10 a.m. on September 16th, 1994. What happened was the students were sent outside for a mid-morning break. So they essentially were sent on recess. This will make a badass episode of Recess, by the way.
Dude. They're like, dude, King Bob got abducted. Mikey, are those aliens?
I can always roll. I can mention any cartoon from the past 20 years, and you'll know all the character names.
I love cartoons. I'm sorry. Why am I apologizing?
You should be a cartoonist.
Dude, I thought you were going to say cartoon historian. I was like, dude, I'll make that job.
You should make a documentary about the weirdest cartoons.
Yeah. I don't even know what the weirdest one would be.
What's the weirdest episode of Recess that you remember?
Oh my God. I wasn't really a big Recess person. I would just catch episodes.
All right, it's okay. Leave a comment in the comments below. What's the weirdest episode?
Dude, that fucking one kid used to freak me out. Wasn't it Randall? He was all like, I hated that kid.
Okay, so the kids were sent outside for recess for a mid-morning break while the adult faculty at the school were inside having a meeting at the time. So when these UFOs landed, there were no adults around. So no adults at the time could corroborate this story.
Okay.
But the entire class of children was outside. About 70 kids reported seeing this.
This is like 1-to-1 a Stephen King story.
For real, right? They say that the incident lasted for about 15 minutes, and then the children returned to class and told the teachers what they had seen, and the teachers just wrote it off. They were like, no. They just dismissed it. They're like, this is not funny. All of you, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
And they basically just ignored them. But the kids went home and told their parents about it because they were so shook up by it. And so a lot of those parents came back to the school the next day to question the school about what had happened. And from here, the sighting was reported to ZBC, Zimbabwe Broadcast Channel.
Oh, okay.
And once the ZBC radio station got the story, it kind of made its way around the world, eventually getting picked up by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, the biggest news organization in the world at the time, and probably still today. So the BBC sent a correspondent down to the school to interview the children, a guy by the name of Tim Leach. He visited the school 3 days later on September 19th. He investigated the incident. He interviewed all of the students, and he issued a quote. And this, to me, is kind of funny, but he said, "I can handle war zones. I can't handle this."
Well, does he mean that just children? I can't deal with kids.
This is fucking
Get
worse
these
than
kids
a war
away
zone.
from me.
I think that it was too convincing for him.
Oh.
And he believed that it was real, and he just didn't know what to make of it. On September 20th, the next day, a woman named Cynthia Hind came to interview the children, And she asked them to draw pictures of what they had seen.
Okay.
I have some of these pictures if you'd like to see them.
Sure.
We'll put them up on the screen for people at home. She reported that the children all told her the same story, and that made her believe that what they were saying was true. Here's the first picture. You can kind of describe what you see there.
Yeah, it looks like a really classical UFO, like behind some trees. It looks like it has like shoes on, right? Like,
yeah, it does. I mean, these kids were between 6 and 12.
Yeah.
And then here's another picture.
I love this kid had to sign his name.
Well,
That's
yeah,
so
he's
funny.
like, I gotta get credit for this.
This kid has potential as an artist. That's what I'll say. There's like a perspective. There's like a alien figure in the foreground, and the background is like a UFO. His understanding of scale, like I almost feel like a kid didn't draw this. Like this is advanced for a child.
Yeah, but it's also severely non-advanced for an adult.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if I told you this was an adult trying to draw like a kid, you could see that, right?
You're coming up with a new conspiracy theory on the spot.
I just feel like a kid wouldn't understand perspective like this. Well, how old were they?
Between 6 and 12.
Yeah, I guess if one it was like 11, I could see that.
All right, nice. Johnny is suspicious that children actually drew these crayon drawings. Maybe it was Cynthia Hind herself.
I'm just saying, like, look at the difference. Like, this kid doesn't understand perspective. This kid does. I just think that's cool.
Well, some kids are artists.
Yeah,
and some kids
yeah.
are jocks, you know. But apparently they all saw the UFO. To be fair, dozens of children who were present stated that they did not see a UFO or anything unusual.
Okay.
But again, about 70 kids did claim that they saw it. The basic details of the sighting were consistent. One or more silver objects, usually described as discs, appeared in the sky. They then floated down to the field and landed among some small trees just outside the school property. Between 1 and 4 creatures with big eyes, dressed in black, exited the craft and approached the children. At this point, many of the children ran, but some, mostly the older pupils, stayed and watched the approaching aliens. This is when the creatures telepathically communicated with the children an environmental message before returning to the craft and flying away. The message was like about something that's going to happen and that pollution mustn't be. That was a quote. Pollution mustn't be. One child said that he was told the world would end because humans are not taking care of the planet. In 2014, people came forward. Some of these children came forward to talk about this now that they were adults. And they maintain that the story is true. And you can find podcasts with some of the children from the school interviewing, describing this event in detail, including an interview given in 2021 by a writer named Zah, Z-A-H, who speaks at length in an interview about being a pupil at Ariel School on that day. Well, because the BBC covered this, I was actually able to track down a news interview with these children from 1994.
Okay.
So this is just a few weeks after the incident happened.
That's cool.
I'd like to watch the interview with you because you don't think these kids drew this picture, but why don't you see them on tape talking about it? And we get to travel back in time to see some of the badass hats that people were wearing in 1994.
Hell yeah.
Let's fire up the clip.
We were playing down over there on the log.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny, so we all ran down over there.
And it was in the early morning?
It was at break time.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny. And we saw two people. They were in black, tight black suit.
Dude.
So she's reading a written statement.
Yeah.
Already sus. I'm just kidding. She wrote down what she wanted to say.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like so distracted by their baby blue fucking, like they look like they're in child jail. Like
It's just a school uniform. They're not in child jail. This is an extremely wealthy school, okay?
That's true.
They're in child paradise.
Oh.
You'd be lucky to rock an outfit like that.
I was always jealous of school uniforms, but I'm sure it was hell to keep them clean and stuff.
All right, let's keep going.
And they had big eyes and a small, we didn't actually see their nose, it was quite small, and their mouth was quite small as well. One of them was running in slow motion up across the ship.
Pause
The
it
other
again.
one was standing.
I love that detail, and it's very creepy to me.
Yeah.
One of them was running in slow motion.
Yeah, just like. Yeah, that would freak me out.
I imagine it's, like a $6 million band sound.
But like, really imagine if you were like in a field and you just saw a guy from far away, just like
an alien running at you in slow motion.
that would terrify the shit out of me.
Yeah, I think if you when we continue this, they will say that there were like a couple beings that were just floating too, that they weren't even touching the ground with their feet.
This is like the thing that I love about this is how not stereotypical it is. I mean, what the flying saucers that they drew are very like classic alien stuff, but everything else they're saying, it just feels so much more supernatural than like most modern alien sightings.
Yeah, let's continue.
Standing beside the ship.
Yeah, you made a drawing, huh? It looks like this?
No, yeah, something like that. I couldn't see
wait,
the
hold on.
eyes or the nose or the mouth. It was just blank. No,
I need
yeah.
to see that. The fucking butthole mouth is killing me. That is awesome. I want this to be the thumbnail for this episode, but I don't think I'll read. But that's so good.
If that's the thumbnail for this episode, currently nobody is watching this. Like, I'm not fucking
I'm
watching.
not clicking on that.
Butthole mouth.
Butthole mouth.
The story. So this does not look like your typical like alien.
No, it's like more reptilian.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that because, classically in UFO lore, there's only a handful of so-called known alien races, which would be the reptilians, the Norsemen. There's apparently a race of aliens that look like Thor, and they look like proto-Vikings. They're known as like our brother race. The tall grays, the short grays, the little green men.
When did this happen in 94? 94. When did Harry Potter come out? Do you know that offhand?
I think the first book was like 97.
Okay, because I was about to say this very lines up also with like the description of Voldemort in those books. But
I mean,
I think this predates that.
I don't think this is. I mean,
Like the cat eyes.
I'm going to say I don't think this is Voldemort.
No.
What's interesting is the ears to me.
Yeah.
Because
it's got like septum piercing.
Yeah, what the hell? It has like fucking microphone, like ASMR ears. Like somebody spray some shaving cream in those little earbuds. I'm trying to imagine like being a child and seeing this thing with its butthole mouth.
Yeah.
And its tiny nose and its giant cat eyes running at you in slow motion.
Dude. That's so scary.
Let's continue.
Sure.
Something like that. I couldn't see the eyes or the nose or the mouth. It was just blank. Like
That's
a piece
terrifying.
of paper.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that. Like literally gave me chills.
Well, when they came, I thought they were crazy.
That's just the first thing you saw?
I thought they were
He likes
crazy
that hat.
just coming to our school just doing nothing. And all I saw was something.
He's like, if you're an alien, you can go
like
anywhere. Why'd you come
coming
to
down.
school?
What must that
school
be?
sucks.
And everybody's crowding it. I must go crowd too. And then I went and I started crowding, and everybody. Then more people came and more. And then I said, "Hey, I can't see anymore. Come on, somebody, I'm short. Come on." And then I went to the front and I started seeing more of them. And then I just ran away.
The day before
Pause
the
it.
spaceship
These like
came,
Ava drawings.
my friends and I were
They are like Ava drawings. I like that kid because he's kind of like a comedian.
Yeah,
Like,
he was. Yeah, he had a whole bit prepared.
he's like, come on, let me through. I'm short. he's going to continue to talk about how he told a lot of these kids like told their family, told their teachers. What's sad to me is that, well, I guess it's not sad. It's understandable that if your child is like, hey, me and all my friends at school saw an alien today. You'd be like, no, you didn't.
My dad works at Nintendo.
What?
I don't know. I just feel like kids make up shit like that all the time.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, how believable is it that like 70 kids could get their story straight?
Yeah. That is impressive.
70 kids and none of them are going to slip up. They're all going to say the same thing.
Yeah, if like an adult was like teaching them or making them say this stuff, I think one kid would probably spill the beans.
Imagine your class, your biggest class.
Yeah.
Could any teacher get everybody in the class on the same page
No.
at any given time?
There's always one stinker kid that wants to do the total opposite.
And there's also like 10 dumbass kids who just for the life of them cannot like internalize the lessons.
Yeah.
I was one of them. I got smarter later in life. All right, let's keep going.
We were sitting in the playground, and one of my friends, her name Emily, she looked up into the sky and she said, "Oh, there's a UFO." She said, and I looked at it and she said, "No, just kidding, it's an airplane." And we looked up and I thought to myself, that can't be an airplane because it was very shiny. It looked kind of like a cigarette, It was a long thing, and then on the end it was all shiny. And so I said, maybe it is a UFO. So we were all kind of like getting scared now. And then the day that it happened, then we started thinking, yeah, there must have been a UFO in the sky. Because my brother also
I
saw
was
it
just
when
looking
he
at
left
the
school.
drawings.
Oh, yeah.
It was sort of like a round shape.
I
like
love
a
this dude's
plate,
hat.
Sort of like two plates that
He
were
knows
sort of
how to
like on
rock 'em.
top of each other. Then there was sort of like the hole, the hatch for it. And there
You
was
can go
sort
ahead
of
and
like
pause
in
it.
between two trees.
So these are some of the older kids.
Yeah.
And you can see, they say they're 12, but in the 90s, when you were 12, when I was 12, I was like riding my bike around town, going to 7-Eleven with my friends. I was a little bit more independent, I think, maybe than 12-year-olds of today.
Yeah. I don't really remember being 12. I remember being 13 just because of my bar mitzvah, and that was the most stressful point in my life at that point.
You don't have any pre-bar mitzvah memories?
It was just really boring. It's like going to school, going to Hebrew school after school, and boring. Watching fucking Invader Zim, going to the mall.
Nice. Going to the mall.
Yeah. Boring preteen fucking New Jersey life.
Well, you should have got a big red floppy top hat.
Yeah.
And do some alien
I would have
hunting like
loved to
these
see some
kids.
aliens.
All right, let's continue.
Sure.
But you couldn't see that clearly, and it was just silver all over. And I didn't see any men or something like that.
Hey, buddy, you forgot your drawing.
You saw one UFO that's surrounded by little ones?
Yeah, one big one. One spaceship.
Yeah.
Little ones around.
Yeah,
That
let
one's
me
cool.
see. Let me see your drawing.
They all drew the same thing.
Yeah.
One big ship and then small ones surrounding it with there were lights.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
Surrounding the
Let's pause
ship.
this
Sure.
real quick. It's amazing to me that this woman asked these children to draw what they saw, and they all drew the same thing.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like it's, maybe the official explanation was it was a case of mass hysteria.
From
I just
what, though?
I just
Yeah.
want to remind everybody that nobody has an explanation. The curse continues. It's inevitable. I can't. Literally any time, day
Yeah.
or night, I'm on this show. My mom calling. It's
Oh, yeah,
always.
always.
It's always my mom. And I never answer. And I don't want to talk. Okay. Mass hysteria.
Yes.
I'm no expert on psychology. I don't know what causes mass hysteria. I don't know, how, was one kid like, you see that UFO over there? And the other kids were like, no. Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't we all see the UFO? And then they start crying and shrieking like, oh my God, it's telling us the world is going to end because of pollution.
Okay. I have a theory here.
Yeah.
This happened on the set of Titanic, but the staff were all dosed with PCP. And they all start
You
tripping
think
out.
the kids were mass dosed with PCP?
Maybe they got like crop dusted with some peyote or something by accident. Like only a couple. Like, dude, I could see that. Like, someone, and they're trying to cover it up. Like, yeah, aliens. Like maybe like one of the.
And what evidence leads you to think that this would be the case?
All right, they're on recess. Doesn't recess usually follow lunch? It did for me.
I don't. It said mid-morning break.
Okay, maybe they got a snack. Maybe by accident, maybe one of the staff was like, "Yo, I accidentally spilled my my PCP in the kid's juice."
To be clear, there are no reports of the staff bringing PCP
Yeah, I don't know.
and introducing it into the juice of the kids. I just feel like that is an interesting theory,
Yeah,
but that's a serious claim. And I think you're going to need some evidence to back that up.
I'm just trying to think like what would cause like I feel like mass hysteria is just like a blanket term and for something unexplainable, which is cool. I love when we have stuff on the show that is unexplainable. But yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead. Continue.
Oh no, that was pretty much what I was gonna.
I was going to say, I remember just off the top of my head, a very famous case of mass hysteria from Europe, from the Middle Ages, of something called laughing syndrome.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No, I'm gonna cut to us. Continue.
I believe it was called laughing syndrome, and I'm sure some of the viewers out there may be familiar with this story, but there were reports of infectious laughter that would take over entire towns.
Okay.
And people in these towns would be unable to stop laughing to the point where they would be laughing day and night, rolling on the floor, laughing, unable to stop. And they actually thought that there was some sort of disease causing people to laugh, or that they were being possessed and haunted by demons.
Yeah.
They had no explanation for it. But it was a case of mass hysteria. Have you ever been in a room and somebody's laughing so hard and you don't even know what they're laughing at, but just watching them laugh kind of makes you laugh? Like they're just being so funny with their laughter that you start laughing? Or have you ever, as a child, because this definitely happened to me and my parents yelled at me about it, just had a laughing fit where you just did not stop laughing?
100%. Yeah.
You just didn't stop. And your parents are like, hey, shut up.
Like in school when like you just like look at your friend, you're like,
Yes.
like trying not to laugh.
Yeah. So that's what happened in these like laughing events of mass hysteria. The whole town, 1,000 people would be taken over in the grips of laughter. But that kind of, again, we know, like, yeah, when you're with somebody and they start laughing, it makes you laugh. And if your superstitions get involved and psychologically you're convinced that there's a bigger thing going on here, it's like a placebo effect.
Yeah.
You just kind of buy into it.
Yeah, I can see like okay, I get what you're saying. Like maybe let's just act like this is fully fake for a second and say like, okay, I can see like the kids all wanting to be a part of something. But I just feel like at some point they would be like, yeah, I was pretending. The fact that most of them, you know, you said in like 2014 even said that they still believe.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there.
Yeah, and to me, the entire incident lasted for no longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So how can you get 70 kids to have a mass hysteria experience
For that short, yeah.
like 15 minutes? I can't
Yeah.
even get ready for work in 15 minutes. Takes me an hour.
Yes.
All right, let's continue.
Sure.
Like Sean's, huh? This is Sean's drawing.
Yes, yeah, basically.
Yeah. And, okay, one landed,
all
the big
bubble
one
mouth,
landed,
dude, Sean.
and the two
And then
aliens came out.
Yes.
And what happened with the little ones?
The little ones, they were just flowing around in the air. They didn't touch the ground. They didn't touch the ground.
And that,
The
these
concern on the
made the
children's
silver lights?
faces is very
Yeah.
convincing to me.
Yeah.
They seem like this is no joke.
Like, yeah.
They just want to be believed.
Yeah, I see that 100%. I would love like a psychologist to like look through this and see.
So they actually, this is in my notes. Since you ask, I wasn't going to bring this up, but let me see if I could dig through here and
Sure.
find this. In November of 1994, Harvard University professor of psychiatry, John Mack, Mr. Mack,
Johnny Mack.
visited the school to interview the witnesses. And he concluded that, I want to get the quote here. Mac had communicated that to these people that their experience may have been real.
May
have been real.
That's funny.
The University of Harvard professor of psychiatry did not tell them this was a mass hysteria event. He said,
yeah,
maybe this was real.
I mean, he would know, like he could see the signs of them like truly believing it, I assume.
There was actually a backlash from Harvard about this, and they launched an investigation into John Mack about his care, his clinical care and clinical investigation of people who had shared their alien encounters. Basically, they'd said, you're a psychiatrist and these are your patients.
Yeah.
And telling them that this alien abduction or alien UFO incident may be real might be detrimental to their mental health. You may be not keeping their best interest at heart. So they launched an investigation into him. And after 14 months, they issued a statement saying, we reaffirm Dr. Mack's academic freedom to study what he wishes and state his opinion without impediment. So basically, they're like, you can't tell these people aliens are real. Then they investigate him and they're like, you know what? Say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, whatever.
we can't, because I can only assume that he's like, well, what if it is real? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, what if it is? They're like, all right, you know what? We're done with you. Go ahead and say whatever you want. So they did have
that's cool.
Psychiatrists go interview these kids. And
That's
he was
badass.
like, I don't know, kids. Your drawings look really good.
Yeah.
Maybe it did happen. Okay, we can continue.
Sure.
Yeah, we're making different color lights, like green,
like they'd
red,
flash to green, then they'd go to blue,
and then
red,
purple.
green. Yeah, purple and red. But it was like it was going like each one to each one, but quickly.
Yeah,
Like,
it was going like they'll go there and then it'll vanish and then it'll go there and vanish and then vanish.
but going quickly. Like as if it
The
was
older kids look like child soldiers to me. The green is really like, I'm like, damn, dude, they're about to get used in like like a kid military. I don't know.
Coney, 1994.
They're gonna band together and take these aliens on.
Yeah.
Yeah, these rich kids are going to
Yeah,
take the aliens on. Oi,
Were
bro.
they yellow?
My dad's Rolls Royce will smash
I
through that
didn't have a
UFO.
so I did it yellow.
They asked,
dude.
he said he didn't have any silver crayons, so he that's total kid logic. Here's what the alien looked like, but I changed the color because I didn't have the right crayons.
This is my favorite Sonic level. Sorry, so stupid.
Good one, John.
So, but
Take this
what
serious,
happened?
please.
You came home and you told your parents.
Yes. Some of them didn't believe it. My mom didn't believe me.
Dude, what a
Your mom
bleak jungle
didn't
gym.
believe you?
My mom also.
Yeah, but you have the old like
Is
beauty
that
of
hard?
nature.
Because
That's
if
true,
you see
yeah.
something and nobody believes you, what happens?
Yeah, you
feel
start
sad.
You start to think as if it wasn't true. Yeah. And people
They started
say
to doubt
to you, no,
themselves.
it
That's
wasn't
cool.
true, so
Yeah,
you
let's pause it.
think it
Yeah.
wasn't
Because
true.
I don't know if you picked that up, but she said, so you told your parents and a lot of them didn't believe you. How does
Yeah.
that make you feel? And they're basically like, yeah, it feels like we're being gaslit.
Yeah.
We start to think it maybe wasn't true.
Mm.
But I find what is so compelling is a lot of these kids report that their parents told them this was not true. You made this up. You didn't see this. And these kids still maintain like, yeah, fuck our parents. I don't care what our parents say. Like, we all know we saw this.
Yeah, but I'm sure for the parents, it was like they were like afraid something was wrong with their kid, and they're just trying to convince themselves, like, please don't. Did you just notice me jump for a second?
No.
Oh, there's like a skeleton over there on the D&D set, and I was just like, I thought it was a human being like just standing there,
The aliens
and
are
it scared
here.
the fucking shit out of me. I was like saying something, and I just jumped.
Nice. Well, don't worry. You're safe.
All right, cool.
I'll protect you.
Roll the tape back. I guess we're small. Never mind.
Let's keep going.
Think that you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And after that, you get all upset.
Yeah, and everyone starts teasing.
And my
me.
friends over the road, when I go there and I tell them about it, they just say, oh, he believes in aliens, oh, he's stupid.
You've seen too many movies.
Yeah.
Well, so nobody.
So now these kids are
in your
being
neighborhood
ridiculed
who
by their
believed
friends
you?
and family.
Yeah.
They're putting it all on the
Oh
line.
shit. Fuck. Sorry.
Okay.
My mom and dad believed me. My granny and my granddad believed me, but my uncle didn't.
Where the spaceship had landed, all the insects and ants and stuff like that were all dead, and there was a huge black mark there.
What?
And my mom said it might have just been a fire there, but I don't think there was. I think it was the alien ship.
Yeah. But you have gone to the place.
So the alien ship left marks underneath scorched earth.
Uh-huh.
This little girl witnessed it. Apparently her mother saw it or heard about it and said, yeah, somebody just burned the ground there. But come on, the kids are telling, they have drawings of the crafts landing and all the insects were dead.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't really hear what she said about the insects. I thought she was saying that they all kind of came together and made a black mark.
No, underneath where the spacecrafts landed, once they left, the ground was scorched and all the insects underneath were dead.
Ugh.
Yeah, sorry to people, insect lovers out there.
Of course. And have you seen anything?
No, we weren't allowed
An
to.
evidence, I mean, that it was there?
Some other people came to the school and they went out the boundary of the playground and they went to go and see what had happened there, and they saw that the grass was burnt and all the living things had died there in that area.
Him and his parents and his brother and
Okay,
sister
can we
all
pause
believed-
that?
Yes.
Because the reports don't mention the ground being burned. But this girl says that the adults went out and saw that the ground was burned.
Mm.
So again, like, did these kids light a fire and cause their own mass hysteria?
Yeah, I would just like wonder what the shape was like, if it was like contained and circular.
If you're watching this and you're following along, maybe you're starting to gather why this has become one of the most significant UFO sightings of the 1990s.
I'm surprised people don't bring this up more.
This is why I'm bringing it up
Yeah,
today. This is fascinating. 70 people, children, but they're people, saw aliens, were contacted by aliens, had a close encounter of the third kind.
Yeah.
Actually made contact and communicated, supposedly, so they claim, with extraterrestrials.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are still alive today. And
Yeah.
they still maintain that this story is true. And they're giving interviews as adults now. And so you can look it up for yourself. They're still just as convinced and just as convincing that this actually happened. Let's keep going. We're almost done here.
And my mother just believed me, but my dad didn't believe anything I said. Anything.
And did you describe it to them?
Dude, red, white, and blue.
Exactly what happened?
So patriotic.
Yeah, and I drew it on a paper and I said, Daddy, this is what it looked like. And then he
Whoa.
drew it well and he said,
It kinda
Michael,
looks
I
like a
think
Nightcrawler.
You're telling the truth now.
Well,
then that's what
let's
he
pause
said of
this
it,
real
and
quick.
that's
Are you talking about a Fresno Nightcrawler?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, because those are white.
Yeah.
And those are just basically giant pants.
Yeah.
And we know that these are butthole mouth, fully formed aliens.
That's true.
Not every kid could see the face of the alien, so a lot of them drew them without faces. But I don't know if you heard what he said. He drew a picture of the alien and said, Daddy, this is what I saw.
Uh-huh.
And his dad looked at the drawing and said, I don't know. Maybe it is true. Because the kid keeps telling me it's true. I don't know what to do. All right, it is true. Junior, stop drawing these pictures, man. You're freaking me out, kid. Daddy, I'm glad you believe me.
You were different before you put on the red hat.
No, hey, I like that hat.
I like the hats,
I want to
dude.
get one of those hats.
Yeah.
I wonder if these kids still have those hats.
I hope so.
Who was scared?
Who was scared?
Not all of you, huh?
Wow.
Who was dreaming about it since then?
Yes,
Who has
yes.
dreamed
In a
about it?
bad way?
Dude.
Yeah, in a bad way?
Who's
That's
had
like
No,
trauma.
tell me first in a bad way. Why? You have nightmares about it?
Yes, I used to, but then after about a year,
What
I
are these
stopped dreaming about it.
You know, just
I drank
1994
Oh, dude.
generic
The same
alien
one.
space
Whoa,
images.
dude, that one's so scary.
So
That is
about
scary.
He
It
came
has no
into
eyes.
my
Yeah.
bedroom and he took me from my bed.
Did you dream that?
Yes.
This
Yeah.
girl
And
has
I
been
just
dreaming of
screamed.
alien
I woke
abduction
up and
since
Dude.
the encounter.
And what did your mom say?
Well, she just kept on saying it was a nightmare. She didn't really believe me.
I wasn't scared
Big
of
black
it.
eyes.
Dude, that's, what does it say?
Mouth not properly seen.
Oh.
No?
This alien really likes ska music.
Wait, that says compound eyes. Look at that. There's like
bug-like?
it says checker. It's like drawn checker pattern on the
Yeah.
eyes, and it's labeled compound eyes. There's another label, but I can't see it
Yeah.
pointing to the nose.
Not at all.
Oh, it's
Nothing. It was all fun to me.
I heard this lady on TV. I think it was Jill Dark. And she said this lady got kidnapped and she had babies that were aliens.
What?
That's what you're afraid of.
Yes.
That's just some.
I
weekly
think the
role
aliens
Oh.
came because
stuff
they're
affecting these
curious
kids.
like us. And, well, they want to learn about us and we want to learn about them. Some people say that people are saying that the aliens came to warn us when something's going to happen, that something bad is going to happen to the earth.
I think they came here to try and warn us that the children
we're
that
young.
because we're
We've
young.
got a long time.
We've got a long time till we die. To warn us that when we're older, there's something going to
pollute
happen
us.
to the earth.
Yeah, not to pollute. Because
Yeah.
we're young, we can still prevent it.
Yeah.
Do you
Go ahead
still
and
have-
pause this. This is the part that gives me chills.
Uh-huh.
Because these kids are basically explaining why they were chosen. It's because they're kids. And they got a long time before they die.
Yeah.
And the aliens are saying, what gives me chills is that this was in 1994. And now in 2023, we're having the most cataclysmic weather events that the world has ever
Yeah.
seen. We're dealing with climate change. We're dealing with mass flooding all across America. We're dealing with droughts that are hitting parts of the world that are causing famine all over the world, that's displacing millions of people. What this kid just said in this interview from 1994 has come true.
Yeah. 100%.
Just think about that. These kids recorded this interview 30 years ago, 29 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And in that time, this prediction has come true. That to me is the wildest part of this story. You may say this is bullshit. You may say they're making it up or it's mass hysteria. But it happened the way the aliens said it would.
I agree.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That's maybe we should have listened to the kids back in 1994.
I was gonna make a joke about how these kids should have got off their asses and done something, but you kept saying worse and worse things. I was like, I shouldn't make that joke.
But then you did.
Yeah.
But they should have. Well, come on, kids.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You knew the whole time that global warming was happening and you did nothing.
I didn't see one of these kids chain themselves to a bulldozer or something.
Yeah. That's basically, there's like 40 more seconds of this interview. Let's just finish it out.
Sure.
All that feeling that as a child you can do a lot?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah? Do you feel, as a child, privileged? Or do you think, next time if the UFO is coming, please go to another school?
No, I feel privileged.
You feel privileged that you saw it?
I'd love them to come back and you could see them again. But only this time closer.
What do you want to
She
Wow.
asked them, like, do you feel privileged? And one kid in the back was like,
No.
no. Just shook their head no.
You are on TV.
All right. Well, that's it.
Okay.
And that is, I'll wait till you come back. And that is the Zimbabwe school UFO incident of 1994.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, there is more footage of those kids. There are a couple documentaries that have been made about this school. They revisited the school in 2021, I believe, or 2020. There's a movie called The Phenomenon, which is all about
Yeah.
supposedly real UFO encounters, and they extensively visit this school. And again, you can find interviews on YouTube and other places of the internet where these children who are now adults will recount this experience. So if you're interested in that, check it out.
Check it out.
Man, we went for a whole hour talking about this.
I'm down to keep going.
Let's just quickly fire through weird videos.
Yeah.
Weird internet.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
So I'm just really excited for you to see all these.
This is how I train crab in Ohio as a proud Ohio citizen.
Okay, so this guy is doing crab taxidermy.
Yeah, and Gundam models.
You know what? This is pretty cool,
Right? I was like debating if this is cool. Like,
The crab's already dead.
yeah. Dude, one of the comments I saw was cracking me up. It said, does this hurt the crab?
Yeah.
Dude, isn't that so sick?
All right, now bring the crab back to life.
Yeah.
All right, do that to a living crab.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. All right, next video.
Is that watermelon? Dude, Lord of the Flies?
I don't know. That one's just confused me.
Flies? Slurp?
Thi-
Wait, you're going too fast, dude.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I feel like I'm being telepathically communicated with. What the fuck did I just watch?
I love the slurp sound he makes.
That if you
It was mahjong pieces made out of watermelon, and then he stuck a spoon in the watermelon pig
in
face.
Piggy's mouth. Did you ever read Lord of the Flies?
No.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I know the. I mean, I know some stuff about it.
I highly recommend it. Even
Yeah,
because I had to read it as a kid, like in 9th grade or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, cool! A bunch of 9th graders get stranded on an island, and they have to survive." And on the surface level, yeah, that is what it's about. But when you read it as an adult, you see that the kids represent different types of people in society.
Okay.
The jocks and the smart kids, and you see how they turn on each other when they're in a dire situation. And it's way more fascinating as an adult. It hits you in a, as a kid, you're like, haha, cool. They fight with each other. As an adult, you're like, these fucking assholes would turn on each other. If they could only work together, they'd survive, but they just can't get it.
Yeah.
So, and of course, they cut off a pig's head and worship it like a god. And
I was so confused. I was like, how did this spark that?
yeah, so that pig head is very reminiscent of that. Actually, is the Lord of the Flies because the flies are attracted to the pig's head.
Okay.
And so they call the pig's head the Lord of the Flies.
I wonder if that guy who made that TikTok was like had to make a thing for class, and then he like decided I'm gonna make a funny TikTok with it.
Maybe that's good. That was a good pig head.
This we might have to watch this a couple times. I hope this. I'm gonna raise the sound. This was blowing my mind yesterday.
Society. That's exactly who the fuck you are. You're fucking with society. Now, welcome to your nightmare.
Is he holding a rat?
Welcome to your nightmare. Next stop. Yeah.
I don't. He's just saying like, this is what's wrong with society. Welcome to your nightmare, and he's just fucking shaking a rat.
You ever miss New York?
Yeah, all the time.
You miss the rat encounters on the subway?
That guy's definitely the rat king.
Yeah.
Should I go to the next one?
Absolutely.
This one's just cool.
Is it though?
Yeah, he's like a wizard.
How does he do such magic with his feet? Oh, wait, there's another one.
Oh, is there another one? I'll click it.
Merlin just takes this thing around. Oh, is that San Diego?
It looks like San Diego.
We gotta get Merlin on the show.
Yeah, for real.
Piano Merlin.
Piano Merlin. This video is amazing.
I have seen this one.
Cat fucking stuck in the fucking floor.
Cats are fucking dumb, dude. Everybody's like, cats are smarter than dogs. Well, look at this shit.
The visual.
She really fucking stuck.
Oh, the poor kitty.
I'm so scared.
How you gonna get it out?
That's what I was saying. Like, I feel really bad for the cat, but the visual of just a floor with a cat head sticking out of it is really funny to me. Anyway, those are my weird videos.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Well, this has been a hell of an episode so far, and we're going to wrap it up with one more segment, and that is going to be our Japan correspondent, Veronika, exploring a haunted mall.
Yes.
Check this out.
Today we're visiting Sunshine 60, the world's largest haunted skyscraper. This is a huge mega structure with so many things to do. There's a really wide variety of places to go within the building. You have corporate offices, and then you have food and restaurants, and then there's also entertainment. There's a Pokemon Center, a gigantic gacha store, a cat cafe. They called it a city within a city, and the idea was to have all kinds of things in one place. Some places took this concept further and added apartments and parks to their structures. Although it's no question this site is a must-see for visitors to Tokyo. It didn't always used to be a place of joy and entertainment. You look around and see children playing, happy people shopping, and you wouldn't think that many years ago it was a very different story. In the 1920s, this was the location of Japan's most infamous prison. And it wasn't long after the construction of the new Sunshine 60 building that rumors began circulating that it was haunted. There have been many supernatural sightings reported in and around the building. The construction was plagued by many unexplained accidents and injuries. Some of these workers blamed a supernatural force for these accidents due to various ghost sightings during the construction. Welcome to Sunshine 60 Tower, one of the most unassuming haunted locations in Tokyo. Not many people know that the grounds that this building is constructed on used to be Sugamo Prison, the infamous war criminal prison, where they would hold executions and they would house famous criminals. So they decided to name this building Sunshine 60 because it's 60 stories, and because they wanted a silly, unassuming, happy fun time name to distract people from the dark past. So when you have a building that's 60 stories tall, you're bound to have some areas like this that are just unoccupied and abandoned. So this likely was some kind of office, and now it's just empty. And it's not roped off or anything. I think we're allowed to be here. I don't really know, but it's super creepy. It's hard to believe that this was a prison as recent as the 1970s. The prison was closed in 1971, and just a few short years later, construction commenced on the Sunshine 60 building. While there are some occupied office spaces in this building, there is also a lot of unused area that's just empty with no furniture and feels really creepy. Not sure what happened to this door. It's easy to get lost back here with endless stretches of hallway, with twists and turns and no signs directing you where to go. I think I'm lost. I actually don't know the way out. There's a lot of exit signs, but none of them lead to the way out. I don't know what to do. I think we're actually lost. There's no one here. Bro, I'm so lost. I'm scared. Don't worry, we did manage to find the exit. And we stumbled across this beautiful courtyard outside. Well, we made it out. I thought I was a goner for sure. We did it. We're here. We showed you guys the inside of the notorious Sunshine City 60 building. This whole area is called the Sunshine City collectively. There's a lot of fun, really cool things to do here, but not a lot of people know about the dark past. So I'm glad that we could share that with you guys today. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time on Spooky Haunted Tokyo Mega Strange.
All right, we're back, everybody.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Veronika, for sending that. Yes, if you want to follow Veronika, go on to Instagram and we will promote her Instagram because I don't know it off the top of my head.
Gucci Baby?
I think it's Tatty Gucci now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll put it in the description or on the screen.
Veronica's also like she's a multi-talented person, tattoo artist and musician living in Japan, who also is, a ghost hunting correspondent for us here. And a good friend. She was on the show a few episodes ago. That's going to wrap up today's episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. Keep in mind, we are going to be releasing a full interview with the Extreme Justice League later this week. So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure you go back and check out our documentary with the Extreme Justice League, and then look forward to the full unedited interview coming in just a few days.
And I also wanted to say real quick that hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll learn if we got some awards for the show.
Oh, we haven't even mentioned that.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much to all of our viewers and fans out there, because Mega Strange has been nominated for Paranormal Podcast of the Year with the Parapod Awards. In addition to that, we were also nominated for Ghost Podcast of the Year and Best Podcast Hosts of the Year.
Let's go.
We're going to find out on April 1st if we won, and we're going to let you all know if we take home the award. So keep your fingers crossed and keep rooting for us. And as always, be sure to support us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and you know what? Share this video with a friend if you think they'll enjoy it. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Stay strange out there. We'll see you next time.
Good night.